Hi everyone, welcome to Adventures with Raven and Rowley. I'm Raven and this is Rowley. Last week I talked about being on the fence and what's keeping you from being a nomad. This week I talk about the land I bought in Cochise County, Arizona. For the past 5 months I've been living full-time in our 6x12 cargo trailer. Converted cargo trailer. For the previous 5 years though, we've lived in a fifth wheel and in a Class A first and then the fifth wheel. If you're curious, please join us on this journey and continue to watch. If you've been following us, you know that my dream is to own my own land. This week I did it. I pressed the buy now button. Can you believe? It was scary, but I did it. Let me start at the beginning. I've looked and read through hundreds of listings in the last year, probably. About 1/5 of the country I think I've investigated. I've looked through Nevada, Arizona, Colorado, Utah, New Mexico, West Virginia, New York, thinking maybe I should go back to the East Coast, New Jersey, Delaware, North and South Carolina, mostly North, South Dakota, and Florida. Those are the ones that I really considered and actually put out on a list and then took them off. Anyway, I read through so many zoning laws that I had to keep an Excel spreadsheet to keep track of the various properties and that I was interested in and which websites they were on. It was I had to. Otherwise, it was just spinning around in my head and everything got confused with everything else, you know. I think I've been living vicariously through homesteaders on YouTube and learning a lot as a result. I called zoning offices and got a lot of conflicting answers. And even the zoning regulations themselves depends upon where you're reading, you know. And I called one about sewers, I think it was, and he tells me that the law is changing December 1st. So I got to go back and read all of that stuff again when they put it out, you know. Anyway, last Tuesday I was doing my morning ablutions and I was looking at land websites again and I saw this piece of property. I had looked at that website the night before. It wasn't there. For some reason, I looked at this property and my heart started beating and excitedly and I was like, oh wow, you know, oh man. Now, you know, the thing is that I kept rereading the listing to see if I had missed something. I looked at other listings. I went back to it. There were others there at the same price. That particular piece of property just had my heart going, you know. Then I started searching the assessment offices to make sure this person actually really owns the land, the person that's trying to sell it, you know. Then I did the zoning check to see if I could do chickens and goats and a yurt. I found out that I could do chickens and the goats, but they told me I couldn't build a yurt, although there are so many glamping sites on Google in Cochise County. I had to make sure the taxes were paid, make sure there were no liens, no encumbrances of any kind. I had to check for road usability. You know, was it a dirt road with no real access, or I had to go across somebody else's land? Was it landlocked or not? You know, that kind of thing. I had to check the terrain for usability. Some of the roads, some of the properties that I looked at had roads going right through the middle of them. you know, right across diagonally through the middle of them. You know, it's amazing. Some had ravines, you know, washes with really sloped sides, so you can't use that part of the property, you know. I needed to know if there were trees or grass or large bushes, or whether the weather was good or the soil was good. Was it in a flood zone, you know? And then, of course, how far away was the nearest town, and the hospitals. And what about stores, you know, like Walmart or Home Depot, you know, things like that. It checked all of my boxes. This particular piece of property had everything I wanted, except running water, which you're not going to get, you know, in this part of the country. But that was okay, because it gets 18 inches of rain per year. I could do water catchment and collect thousands of gallons of water, assuming I had someplace to store it. So it's wonderful. It was wonderful. Okay, you know, just to be sure, I wasn't going off the deep end, because I've looked at so many pieces of property. I wrote to my daughter and asked if she could see any reason I shouldn't buy this piece of land. She couldn't either. So I pressed the button. I actually pressed the button. I was so scared. I don't know what I was scared of. I was so nervous. I don't really know. I was just like, oh my God, I'm going to do this. You know, I'm going to buy this piece of property. I'm going to commit to this, you know. It was scary. And as I said, I don't know why it was so scary, but it was scary. It's still kind of scary. Okay, and it's a week later. Now let me tell you about the land. It's in Cochise County. I know I've been saying forever that I keep coming back to Mohave County, but Cochise has better soil. Cochise County has more rain, twice as much rain as Mohave, and it doesn't quite get as hot. It is a 9-hour drive from here, and this property is 1.07 acres. I know I said that 2 acres would be nice. Yeah, 2 acres would be nice. 5 acres would be nicer. I don't know how I would handle 5 acres, but 1 acre you can do a lot on, okay? And this is a corner lot. I like the look of the town, the county seat. It's not the nearest town, but it's a near town. The town of Bisbee. And it kind of reminds me of Lebanon, New Hampshire. You know, a college town. Really pretty little place. I personally haven't gone to see the land. I did not drive the 18 hours there and back. And that's probably not the smartest thing in the world. But it was one of those things, you better get it while you can, because the land, when I've been looking at land, some of them disappeared that I've put on my list. They've gone, you know, somebody sold. So I haven't gone down to see the land. But in my contract, it says that if I do see the land and I really don't like it, I can choose a different piece of land that's the same price. I have to remain here until January. And so I've been doing a lot of dreaming, you know. I'm thinking I'll go spend 2 weeks at the WRTR in January. I think it's at the end of January, the beginning of February. And that's a 4-hour drive. Then I'll go spend 2 weeks on the land, which is a 4-hour drive from there, you know, 4+ hours each case. You should know, though, that I did not buy this land outright. I don't happen to have that kind of cash. I'm on Social Security, you know. You save little dribs and drabs as you can, you know. And I couldn't save anything while I was living in that park. And so the only savings I've got is what I've created by not paying rent by living here. So I could not buy the property outright, okay? So it's owner financed, and he's financing it for 3 years, but I'm hoping to pay it off within a year. On the land, I can camp on it for a total of 15 days at a time, and the owner said it was absolutely okay. And then when I paid a portion, he didn't indicate how much that portion would be, that he would okay me building on the property. So that's okay. Anyway, after I camp on it for about 15 days, I'm going to go back to quartzsite on BLM land for about 2 weeks, and then come back here, or maybe travel with the women's caravan and relocate every 2 weeks like they do. So I bought my land. I am so thrilled. I am so thrilled. You have no idea. I am just like over the moon here, you know. Anyway, the Rowley report. There's my Rowley. He's a good boy, this boy. Yes, you are. So I want to say thank you to Gloria Schaefer for the gift of a treat for Rowley. You should know that he loves bacon and cheese, okay? I found my Rowley trainer. Where is it? Here it is. Finally. This thing. This is a, let me put it up in the light so you can see it. This is, has sonic sound. I don't want to press it because he's sitting right here and he's not doing anything. I can't hear the sound. Lights come on to let me know that it's working, you know. But it has slowed him down big time. He's not barking nearly as much. And I can't let him see me use it either, because I don't want him to know that I'm doing it. I want him to know that when he barks, that sound comes out and maybe he should stop, you know, that kind of thing. So I don't let him see me use it. And he's been coming when I call now. So that's really good. I worry that, you see, the thing is I worry that he will have to be on a leash the entire time we're away from this spot. And he'll have to be on the leash too when we finally live on the land, until I can get fencing in place. He has a habit of wanting to chase cars, bicycles, ATVs, and he barks at other people a lot. And it's a corner lot, so he's got 2 streets to chase cars on. So he's got to be trained before that. He's got to come when called, on command, every single time before we get on the land. So we've got a lot of work to do. It doesn't have to be all done right this minute, but we've got a lot of work to do. And so far he's doing pretty good, now that I found my trainer again. So anyway, thanks for watching, and thanks for your support. And I'll see you next Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific time. Take care of you and yours, and blessed be.